Quentin Tarantino is going to be doing a new film, it seems, and he's almost done with the script, if not finishing as we speak. What is the subject, Grace? The Manson family murders. So Quentin Tarantino, who you know from films like Pulp Fiction and Inglourious Basterds, he's done these like interesting takes on historical things in the past, such as Inglourious Basterds, which is like this revenge, revisionist history fantasy of actually killing Hitler, and then Django Unchained, which is another, it's like a revenge, revisionist history on or just kind of a fictionalized version of this like revenge fantasy in slave times in America. This new one is about the Manson murders, which Grace can probably go into great detail on, but Charles Manson put together this group of followers, actually off the road I used to drive every day to school, and then they went to go kill someone in this house that they thought was occupied by a record producer, but it actually was home to Sharon Tate, who was an actress, and they killed her.
And her baby.
And we'll go into it, but our thoughts, 5 words or less.
It's already a cult movie.
I'm scared, I think.
What a glorious film. I think this will be a glorious, I love it. I love him. Do you guys like Quentin Tarantino?
Quentin's Kill Bill, hello.
Kill Bill, I forgot
Fantastic,
about that. Yeah.
fantastic. I think Quentin does it right. I think he gets it right. I think he has this really quirky mind that he gives you. His movies are very thought-provoking in addition to entertaining, but still they're off the beaten path. They're not like, oh, we're gonna go see who's a Steven Spielberg movie. You know, it's like you're getting something unique with Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just like there's so many films that could have been directed by 3 or 4 different people. You're like, I don't know who this was. I'll look it up.
And he's funky.
You
and
know
cool.
It's a Quentin Tarantino movie when you.
Quentin's funky and cool, like himself. You know how some directors are all about their craft, and then when they extrapolate themselves from their work, they're like super like chill. Quentin's very off the beaten path as well himself. I'm not a fan, and I thought about you too, Grace, when it came to this, because like, oh, this is Murder with Friends on the big screen.
Murder with Friends
on the big screen. No, but I wasn't like, I thought about who are my favorite serial killers. Does that sound weird? My favorite serial killers?
No, it does sound weird, but everyone kind of understands what you mean.
A fascinating story. Like I was always a Jeffrey Dahmer kind of guy.
He ate his people.
Yeah, but his story always fascinated me. But so I'm excited to see this, I guess, because Charles Manson has always been super intriguing and interesting. But I would love to see the spin that Quentin's gonna put on it. Is it gonna be dark? Is it gonna be a little, there's some comedy in it? Like how is he gonna spin this?
Grace, is this good fodder for a Quentin Tarantino movie?
It's the spin that I think is gonna be really interesting. That's what I was talking about with Amir earlier. What is he gonna do with this story? Because I've seen a lot of different depictions of the Manson family and what happened and the Sharon Tate murder and murders really that happened at Cielo Drive. But I think that Quentin Tarantino does have such a unique vision, and I think he's gonna have a really weird take on this family, the character, the person that was Charles Manson, this cult personality that made people follow him and believe in him so much. And I think also what I would predict is that I think it's not gonna be so grounded in fact.
Correct. Yeah,
as other portrayals have been. And I think that there's a place for all of this when it comes to storytelling. Like I don't think that it should be, oh no, just stick to the facts, that sort of thing. Because I've seen some depictions of the Manson family that I've thought have kind of gotten too bogged down in just
historical accuracy.
Yeah, I mean honestly, it's so historically accurate to the time that you miss this sort of X factor that was this moment in American history, that was this person that was able to drum up real fears in very drug heavy populations of people, and I think that the truth about what exactly happened there is something we can only really grasp at, because so everyone's memory that was there when it came to his teachings, everyone was on LSD and everyone was just tripping out, and he probably wasn't taking as much as the others. I could really talk about this for a while. We did a Murder with Friends episode on it if you're interested. It's not one of my favorites because it's one of the first ones that I hosted, so I think I'm pretty awful. But
everyone thinks that about themselves,
right? But if you want to watch it and learn more about Charles Manson, then you can can check that out there. But I think that Quentin Tarantino is going to have a really interesting take. I think that the character of Sharon Tate is going to be really prominent. I hear that they're talking to maybe Margot Robbie and Jennifer Lawrence might be involved in the production. And what I would like to see is I would like to see Charles Manson sort of get his comeuppance, and I would like to see maybe the girls revolt against him or something crazy like that.
If it's Quentin Tarantino, let's take a look actually at we have one photo of the original newspaper headline. Like that's Charles Manson, this guy that we're talking about. So it already looks like a character from a Quentin Tarantino movie. But yeah, if it's a Quentin Tarantino film, I would see like Margot Robbie is right in his wheelhouse.
For Sharon
just like
Tate.
for just an actress he would cast in something kind of like her in a Suicide Squad, like that kind of eccentric look. Whether she's the central character or not, you would expect like some kind of like badass woman taking down an evil man. That's kind of one of the things you come to expect from him, especially through films like Kill Bill.
Yeah. And I can see her playing someone like Patricia Krenwinkel or Leslie Van Houten, also like playing those are one of the girls that committed the murder.
Gotcha.
I can see her playing one of those girls that really bought into what Charles Manson was saying, because these girls really believed in him at the time. Or Squeaky, who went to bat for him, who wasn't involved at the actual murder site, but was really a big advocate for him. One of the ones that was shaved her head and was crawling on the steps to the courthouse. I mean, there's so many different personalities here, and with how he is as a director, he has these ties to these brilliant actors that go there with their acting.
Right.
I think it's going to be a really over the top, cool, maybe probably disturbing.
Who do we
movie.
think is Charles Manson? Because is it Brad Pitt who's been rumored, or is it Kurt Russell?
I think
over the years they could have different people because he's been a figure. He's popped up in pop culture for
be like
so long.
A newcomer. I want to sidebar that for just a second. Grace, you made a great point about the storytelling though, because previously when you see movies about historical like murders like Richard Ramirez, they're very grounded in fact. You know, like American Horror Story, Ryan Murphy does such a fantastic job with American Horror Story. Like you guys, did you watch OJ?
He did the OJ, but he will bring out like really eccentric tones.
Right.
To it.
It's not just like, here we're getting our history lesson on Charles Manson. There has to be a story that goes along with the fact, at least for me, because I mean, you can watch ID America and watch on Charles Manson and get all you need. So it's just like, where's the balance? Like, where's the fine line? And I hope that Quentin does do that. I think to play Charles Manson, I would love to see Adam Driver. He played Kylo Ren and one of the Star Wars movies. But I think a newcomer should play Charles Manson.
So
another person you cast a lot is Walton Goggins, who is from he's in Hateful Eight. He is that guy who kind of talks like this, and he's got the high spiky hair and the big teeth. He's also in like he has a TV show that he's in TV a lot, but he's also in Vice Principals. He's a guy that's like a go-to for.
Benjamin Bratt would be great.
Benjamin Bratt.
Because you have to look at.
I don't like any of these.
No,
I don't like
also,
Adam
let's
Driver. I think he's
remember,
too big.
Charles,
I think he'd be great in it. I think I want him in everything.
Charles Manson was like 5'2". He was really a small guy. And I think that just speaks to this bold, egocentric personality that drew people in, this charisma. And that's the sort of X factor that in other depictions of Charles Manson, I haven't really gotten, because you see that the actors are getting a little bit too cerebral in, okay, I'm Charles Manson, so Charles Manson would do like this. Charles Manson don't give a fuck. Like I don't even.
He's creepy looking. He's like all over the place. He's got a swastika on his forehead.
He's a tricky person to give life to as an actor, so you have to have the we'll see if he makes the right choice with this actor, because it's going to be a really tough role.
Quick question, and maybe I'm not smart in this, but if they do a biopic, let's say like I do a biopic or a movie that's featuring Brett Ehrlich, do I have to pay you royalties for that? Because Charles Manson, they're making money off of Charles Manson's name and likeness. There has to be some kind of I
don't think so. I think there is. The only thing that comes to mind is like authorized biography or unauthorized biography, but no, I don't think you have to do it. I think it's enough of a political, historical figure, especially if you're fictionalizing it. And I think Tarantino would have a lot of protection from satire, especially if he does like one of those revisionist revenge fantasies. But I think it's gonna be like Kill Manson.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Kill Bill Volume Manson.
Yeah, I hope so. I think that'd be really cool.
I do think Adam Driver should be in, I think, every movie. Is that weird?
Doesn't he remind you of who's Giggity Quagmire from King of the Hill with the way, or Inspector Gadget? Every time I see Adam Driver, I think go Gadget go.
Yeah, he's definitely like tall.
It's the elongated
And he's
face
got
and the nose.
that same, yeah, interesting.